Welcome to the Life Begins at Midlife podcast, where we pop the champagne to celebrate the unexplored joys and endless adventures that await us in the midlife. Flipping the script on what it means to hit those fabulous 40s, 50s and beyond. Because here, we don't believe in midlife crises, only midlife revolutions. Reminding you that the only thing we're letting go of at midlife is the notion that it's all downhill from here. Nope, we're here to climb higher, dream bigger, and laugh louder. Each week, we'll dive into the myths, share the truths, and unlock the secrets to making the midlife years your best years yet. From rediscovering lost passions to embarking on new adventures, we're covering it all. Expect candid conversations with inspiring guests who've turned their midlife years into their most dynamic chapter yet. We're talking to everyone from entrepreneurs who've launched successful startups from their kitchen tables to adventurers who decided age is just a number when it comes to climbing mountains or sailing the seas. So if you've ever found yourself pondering, is this all there is? Or you're just eager to embrace the richness of midlife with both arms wide open, then you, my friend, are in the right place. Grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's show the world that life doesn't just begin at 20, it begins again at midlife. And remember, in the Life Begins at Midlife podcast, the only rule is to live confidently, love unconditionally, and laugh uncontrollably. Let's get started. So hello and welcome to today's episode of Life Begins at Midlife. Today we have got Amy in the studio, and I'd like to welcome her into the mix. And Amy, welcome, and I look forward to having a conversation with you today.
Thank you.
Great. So Amy, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and what do you do in your day?
Well, from a me kind of person, I'm a mum of 4. I home educate my children. I also run a business at the same time where I help women to really heal the parts of themselves that need to be healed so that they can step into their truest version of themselves. It's really a journey of coming home to themselves and really understanding themselves once more so they can live their most beautiful, fullest life. I live in Cornwall, and I kind of really am blessed because I am living my best version of my life right now at this stage in my life. And just absolutely want everybody else to be able to have that experience and that opportunity too, because we're at a time where it's so accessible to everybody now. So it's just having the courage and the confidence to go after what you want.
Absolutely. And that is a big thing, because you get to this stage of our lives, and so some people it happens earlier and some people it happens a bit later. There's no right and wrong, but all women go through a certain stage or a phase, maybe it's a good way of putting it, where we feel that things are shifting and we've maybe got a bit more time because the children don't need us as much as what they used to. And who are we? And I'm sure you must find that with your clients.
Yeah, I do. And myself as well. And I'm sure you found it too. There's a definite, I find, around the midlife, an awakening of we might not have as much time as we once had, a kind of shedding of the old self as you kind of step into this new role as we lose our menstrual cycle, and we're like, oh, okay, this is a physical thing that's happening to us as well. There's the physical changes that go on with that can result in a loss of identity, especially if you're still wanting to have more children or other things. There's all of that goes around it. It's also attached to youth and vibrance and energy and everything that our kind of culture and society celebrates. And it's getting to know yourself and I'm going to use the word skin, but in your body that it now is, and really learning how to connect back with it, how to make the space to hear what it needs and wants. Because I truly do believe that all of us have the power and the knowledge to know what we want if we make the space and time to connect with us.
Absolutely. And I think, when we have been full on mum and, career person, business person, whatever it is, has been, and wife slash partner, whatever that role looks like, there's been so much of our focus on all those responsibilities that we haven't had the opportunity and to spend the time with ourselves. And we all, I know I was in that situation where I was the bottom of the pack. You know what I mean? Everybody else was looked after first. And then by the end of it, it's like, "Oh, there's no time. I said, it's all right. Don't worry. I'll get to it tomorrow." And then you just never get to it.
Yeah, exactly. 1 hour rolls into another, into a day, into a week. And before you know it, another month has come. You're at half term again. And you're like, where's my time? When do I get to do me? And definitely for me, this stage of my life has really correlated with my children now finding their own independence. And I'm just a bit like, wow, who am I? What do I like now? What fits in with me as I've grown, developed, and stretched? Because I've been so invested in helping them to find themselves and who they are, which I've absolutely loved. It is one of the best journeys, but like you say, that I've invested there, but I haven't invested here. So it's really been a time of there has been this space, and that's a really difficult transition as well. Because I'm like, oh, where I was used to running them to their Saturday morning clubs or having to occupy them every minute of the day with the arts and the crafts and the dancing and the will you play shots with me kind of thing. I've now got this time on a Saturday morning in the evenings when they're chatting with their friends around, like, oh, and there was a period when I didn't know what to do with that time. And I felt a bit lonely. I felt a bit lonely because my my friends, the people who I'd been with were going out, and I thought, oh, okay. I mean, my friends, as in my children, I was just like, wow, what do I do now?
Absolutely. And also, yeah, like you said, the friends that you had in your younger years, they might have moved away, or you might have moved away to a different part of the country, or even you just grow apart. Because if you're not on the same journey, your interests in that become different. And then you know, it's not that you don't like the person, you just don't have much in common anymore. And, you know, you grow apart. And then how do you make new friends when you work from home, possibly? Your kids are you're a homeschool, but even then, you know, they're making their own friends. You're not taking them to a play day to go meet the mummy there and have a coffee. So how do you make friends? You know, and that's always been an interesting thing for me. It's like can't just go knock on someone's door and say, please, can you be my friend? You know, it's a bit weird.
That's a really interesting point that you make there because I found that myself too. It's kind of like you drift in and out of your social circles, don't you? And it's just like, oh, and then you just find that you're kind of like going, actually, I've got more space for more friends now. And I've also recently been going through that process and thinking, well, what can I join that actually gives the scope to build those friendships, because a lot of things like fitness classes, you dash in, you dash out, there's no opportunity to exchange numbers to see if you even like each other or connect on another level. So that is definitely a process that I've been through as well, and kind of looking at activities that might be suitable. So
Yeah, because I find too, you know, people are so busy, you know, either checking things on their phone or they've got their earphones, AirPods, whatever it is in their ears, and they're listening to music, and they're just in their own little bubble. And you know, think, oh, they've got all their friends and they've got all their social circle, and then there's little me sitting on the side. You know, it's like,
mm,
how do I, you know, crack into that? And even going to networkings, I found, you know, people tend to stick to their little groups that they know, you know, and they don't really include people that are new or might not have known before. And it's just been an interesting process to,
yeah,
you know,
it does take a little bit of a, especially if you're like me. I don't like to be, well, I'm a bit of a kind of what person in the background who watches. I'm a therapist by heart, so I do sit and observe people. I love that. And coming onto social media has really taught me that I have to sometimes raise my hand a little bit and be okay with being seen. Um, and that's one thing I'm really thankful for of my entrepreneurial journey. And like you say, going in the networking groups, you have to like speak up and speak in front of people. It's just like, oh my God.
yeah.
and hoping that like it can bring up all sorts of like your own mind natter, can't it? Of things that you're going, oh
Absolutely.
my God, why are they not seeing me? Am I not
Hopefully
wearing the
my
right?
voice doesn't croak when I first start speaking.
Yeah. Am I going to sound silly? Am I going to splutter, trip over myself? Yeah, can bring up all sorts of stuff. But I think the more that you show up, the more that they get to see you, then you'll I found definitely that when I'm in other groups, they're like, oh, I've seen you in so and so and in that group or in this group. And it's took time and it's took a commitment, but it's getting there slowly. So that's been my experience. How about you?
Well, it is. I find, you can't just expect people to to come and find you. You have to go and find them in a sense where, like you say, you have to show up, you have to be seen, and like you said, then you start connecting, and then you might have a virtual coffee conversation because you've seen each other, across different groups, and think, oh yeah, I like what she says. Let's have a chat, and that makes those DMs not so sleazy then because you can pop in and say, hey, we've been, commenting on each other's posts in such and such a group. How's about we have a conversation, not just sliding in and saying, buy my stuff, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And that is one thing that I'm definitely loving about being this age is that the connection with other women at this age definitely feels for me anyhow that it's more of a supportive one. It's the kind of green-eyed monster, the competition, the comparison, all that definitely seems to have leveled. And it's really interesting because I'm now stepping into that role and going, wow, having female friends around is absolutely amazing. And then on the other hand, I've got my younger children navigating friendship circles and all of the kind of stuff that we went through as teenagers. And it's just like, oh my God. And helping them to navigate it, to kind of like think how they want to be seen and help them realize that it's not them, it's just skills and everything, especially with phones. So it's been a really interesting and time in comparison.
And then there's also the encouragement for them that, it does get better.
Mm. Yeah, they definitely see that. They definitely see that. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I've found that as well. There's definitely and also I think a deeper conversation that you seem to have with women as well. You don't have to have that airy fairy chitty chatty stuff. You just seem to go straight into the into the heart stuff, and you can have a real, good conversation and leave each other feeling more positive and more empowered, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's beautiful, isn't it? And you just want to be in each other's space more when that happens, don't you?
Absolutely. And then you see people that don't have that experience and you just want to bring them in, but they're still a bit jaded about, all the scars that they've had from the younger days. And it's like, no, it'll be fine. Just come. But they could
It's
see the
courage,
hesitation.
isn't it?
Yeah. And trust, I suppose, as well. Trust that you're not going to be trodden on and hurt and all these things that have happened to you in the past, and
It does. It does.
healing from those times. And
Yeah. And I think understanding that what is coming up is your subconscious being triggered and that trauma being triggered, and that actually if we address that, if we go in and focus it at a subconscious level, and that's where a lot of my work is that we go in to the subconscious mind, because we can look at situations and our kind of conscious mind really likes to find its own reasoning for things. And quite often what I find on my journey with women is that actually it isn't what they think it is. And it's so fascinating, and they're just, I didn't even realize that happened, but it makes sense now. I can see the dots, and sometimes it's in their childhood, sometimes it's the feelings and things that they picked up when they was in the womb. And we're even finding now that stuff can be imprinted in us from past lives, from previous generations. So there's that generational ancestral kind of trauma going on, which really surprises people. And I'm finding a lot more of that is coming up. So yeah.
it's interesting that it's coming up, but it's also amazing that it is that we're in such an opportunity in our lifetime that we can have that privilege to be able to heal all those generational things that we have been carried on so that going forward, any of our children and their children and children and children going forward don't have to have all that, it's like we're in this privileged position to be
We
those.
are. And it's such a privileged position, isn't it? And you can really see how if all of us does the work on ourselves, this planet, the human experience could be just so
Yeah,
beautiful. There could be no more wars. We could sort out everything.
absolutely, absolutely. It would just be, yeah, be
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
it gives you great hope, and that's a really, really nice feeling, isn't it, for the future?
It does, because if you see how things have exponentially grown in the healing side of things, and if you imagine that the ripple effect from that, so each person that is in that big expanse being healed, and that's just spreading out and spreading out and spreading out, that it's just,
Yeah, yeah, I've got
I
goosebumps.
know,
You can feel it, can't you? It is so
yeah,
exciting. And I think we are all being called. I see so many women in different ways and shapes and forms going, actually, enough is enough. Let's stand
absolutely,
up collectively. Let's have our voices heard. And it's really empowering. And it just brings you back to those times, like how women have been shut out and kept out of that conversation. And it really seems, when you look at the stories of the goddesses and how Christianity came about and all of the kind of masculine religions that we know about, how we've been shut out of that conversation. And it seems where things went a little bit skewiff. And it's time to bring
absolutely.
it back
And
in.
now it's almost like we're saying, right, yeah, you've had your time, you've clipped our wings are now growing back. We're getting ready.
Yeah, yeah.
It's starting to shift, and we're starting to rally the female troops or to
Yes.
the
Yeah,
warriors. But,
definitely that feeling about, and I think, yeah, the planet is really going to love it.
absolutely, just need to hurry up now. And
I know.
it just, yeah, it'll be really good. But
It will be.
anyway. So, what are you busy working on at the moment? Then, is there something that you would like to highlight?
At the moment, I have two offers that I have out. The first one is a new monthly membership, which is really about helping women to create the space in their life. It's called Rituals, and it's basically using the power of the monthly rituals and daily rituals to kind of make space for yourself, to hear yourself, connect with yourself, and set your intentions and go forward in the month and bring to life what it is that you want to bring about. And to support you on that journey, there's two additional things. One is that we're going to be having mastermind sessions in that, and it's all going to be about connecting back with you. So we're going to have things in like people speaking about menopause. We're going to be speaking about things like how you can literally heal your own teeth and things. Looking at things of connecting with the archaic records for those people who are into that. We're going to be connecting with the quantum. So it's really bringing it all in. So we're looking at the body, we're looking at relationships, we're looking at the energies. And I'm really excited to see where it goes, because I'm really going to initially lead it by who's in the group and their needs, because there's just some amazing stuff out there now which I think is going to help people. So that's that. And then I have my subconscious reprogramming journey, which is called Worthy as am I allowed to swear?
Absolutely.
The title, I just thought I'd check. It's called Worthy as Fuck, because a journey that I went on, and at the same time lots of my clients were going on, was really stepping back into their worth, realizing that they are worth. And it's you look at all areas of your life and look at where you want them to be, and to heal anything that needs to be healed, and then reprogram your subconscious mind for the things that you want to achieve in your life. And it's a beautiful experience to see women go on and really step into, and especially, like you said, a time when we need women to be standing up and their messages need to be out there. So the more we can clear our vessels and let it all go, the more we can give back to the world. So yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the more we expand and the more we grow, the more capacity we have to be able to help other people who can then help other people.
exactly. So yes, that's where I'm at.
And will those be found on your website?
I don't have a website. I am literally on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you
Okay.
come and connect with me there, then my messenger is always open.
Perfect. No, that's great. So I will be putting the links into the show notes and everything like that, so people can just pop on and find you, and yeah, link up. And both of those sound absolutely amazing. So
Oh, thank you.
great. So thank you so much, Amy, for coming on to the show today. It's been so lovely having you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been an absolute pleasure. And if anybody's thinking about it, do come on.
Perfect. Thank you. As we wrap up another episode here at Life Begins at Midlife, we want to take a moment to extend a heartfelt thank you to our sponsor, Jackie Bourne from Purpose Unleashed. Jackie's commitment to empowering individuals on their journey of self-discovery and transformation truly aligns with the spirit of our show. Whether you're navigating the challenges of midlife, seeking clarity on your next steps, or simply looking to live a more fulfilled life, Purpose Unleashed offers the guidance, tools, and support you need to turn your aspirations into reality. For those of you feeling stuck or at a crossroads, remember, it's never too late to redefine your path and embrace the life you've always dreamed of. Visit Purpose Unleashed website to discover how you can start your transformative journey today. Let Jackie be your guide to a more vibrant, purpose-driven life. You can find this link to the website in the show notes below. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in and sharing your time with us. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to grow, to love, and to make a difference. Until next time, keep striving, keep dreaming, and keep listening.